Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Mecha Break video. Today's video we're going to be talking about the dev live stream. Now I am coming back from vacation on my way back, and I was able to start watching some of the dev live streams. So today we're going to be making a video on that. Now this will be a voiceover. Now including this, we're going to only specifically be talking about the new stuff that is coming and the quality of life changes. The actual balance changes we're maybe make another video on. And the reason we're going to do that is because one, they haven't definitively said this is what they're going to do for sure. They are looking at some things they haven't finalized, and there are other strikers that they're going to be looking at as well to balance. So we might be looking at that in another video, but in this video we're going to be specifically looking at the new strikers, the new premium content like the skins and the patterns, the battle pass. Now there's a pity system and a lot more. So without further ado, let's take a look at the strikers.
Through this demo, you can see that Alphard is clearly a high-speed striker. All of its weapons, you can see, are mainly ballistic-based. Let's take a look at HEL. You probably know that it has deflector drones. So these are all just its 4 little drones on its back. Here's a little sneak peek. HEL's right click can activate a small ADS. It's completely different from Narukami and Aquila's ADS.
Alright, now we got a quick look at them. Now looking at what they showed and they talked about briefly, we're looking like we have 2 attackers now. HEL was confirmed to have a weapon like the snipers but not be an actual sniper, so we're looking at a medium attacker and a light assault attacker. So looking at Alphard specifically, it definitely looks more like a Falcon with a Falcon, maybe with like an Inferno or a Tricera kind of put together. It is very fast. It looks like there's a burst mode that can go even faster, which is pretty cool. This is definitely what I'm going to be looking to trying out. Looks really cool. I'm kind of curious to see what more of the kit they will show us. And then HEL looks like the medium attacker. Like I said, originally it looked like a sniper, which is why looking at the weapon looked like a sniper, but it is not going to be a sniper. It is a medium attacker, which I think is really cool. Is they are going to do these things that when you use the ability like a right click to get closer, you're going to be using like a different aim down the sights. It's not going to be a full aim down the sights, so I'm curious to see what that looks like. But what they also allowing HEL to do is increase the sniper ability to shoot, increasing your shooting range by having these reflectors out in the middle of the field, and you put them out there as you're shooting, it looks like, and you're able to get even further distance, which is pretty cool. This is giving me like I don't know, let's just say Requiem from Gundam Seed and stuff like that, where you're able to hit from one side and then it then splits to somewhere else and keeps reflecting all the way until it gets to the destination that it needs to hit. I think overall this looks pretty cool. There is some sort of stunning effect that it does as well when HEL is attacking. Both these strikers look super solid. Looking at them, they look like they're going to be 15,000 mission tokens, just like the previous event. And if you're interested and you didn't play Season 0 and you didn't get Striker Serenif, Inferno, or Stellaris, you still be able to get it. So don't be alarmed when it comes to I didn't get a chance to. They're allowing you to get that. I think overall looks pretty cool. I'm curious to see, they did talk about at the very end that there might be doing some beta testing. So I'm curious if this is going to be out in the open public and everyone gets to try it out. But I'm curious, they specifically mentioned it for the 24, the big battle arena event that they wanted to do. So I'm not sure if it's for everything or just specifically that, but that's coming out in October. So we have 2 new strikers, both look really cool. There's different, a lot of concept art for it. So I think overall, like different colors and patterns that they did with it. But overall, I think these two strikers look like they're going to be attackers specifically. I would have liked to seen like one attacker and then maybe one support or one heavy or one something. It would have been really cool to see something different, but it looks like they're both going to be attackers. Now, looking at the premium skin, there's going to be two skins that you can get. One of them is Murakami, and they kind of showed Murakami. So let's go ahead and show you that video here. Now, that video looks pretty cool. I definitely like Murakami, but this one is really awesome for you guys, for anyone. You don't have to actually buy this skin with actual hard-earned money. You can actually get this with mission tokens. So at the very end, you'll be able to actually purchase these. It's about 28,000 for this specific skin. If you want the cosmetics to go with it, they have their own price as well, but you'll be able to buy this. Now, keep in mind, with Murakami's premium skin, you cannot sell this or buy this technically in like the marketplace. So if you're looking to buy this and sell this and hopefully get some money back, you wouldn't be able to do that. This is just for your account, and they are not allowing that to happen. Now, let's take a look at the next striker that is showed that's a premium skin to buy. Now, that is Serenif skin and also the pilot. Now, I personally like the Serenif skin. I think the Serenif skin looks super sick. It looks like it's probably going to be the same price point as the other ones, around that $48 range. Comes with everything that comes with it. I'm pretty confident that the Murakami one does have an entrance and all that, like just like the other ones have. This is pretty interesting. If they do this moving forward, would be pretty nice. I just hope that the Murakami one doesn't lack in details and cosmetics compared to the most expensive one, like the Serenif one. I would like to make sure that they're both being balanced. If you're going to be one where you can give us one for mission token and one for actual price of $50, I can understand. This is their model they're going to be moving forward. Here's one you guys can get for a Murakami, and here's one for Serenif. I would like to see potentially maybe they do more of these moving down the line as well. Premium skin, maybe they bring the pilot back out, but different outfit, different colors, and maybe they put that in the mission tokens instead of using it for hard-earned cash. I would like to see this as a quality of life change moving forward. If this is what they're going to be doing, have one of the mission tokens, and then also have one that you can purchase with hard-earned cash. Now, the one that you can get with Serenif, that one you will be able to buy and sell on the marketplace, so keep that in mind as well. Now, they also showed us new patterns coming out. These patterns are very special patterns. They're not like any other patterns we've seen before. They have like a breathing light effect that goes with it. This is some extra style that they said that they were able to unlock in their technology on their engines. So it's pretty cool to see that the pattern kind of comes to life. I'd be curious to see what more they can do. The fact that they have new weapon skins that we're going to be talking about, those new weapon skins look pretty sick. And seeing those effects would be pretty cool as a pattern as well. So the patterns you'll be able to get in the new pity system as well, which we'll talk about that a little bit later. But these patterns also seem to change depending on whatever the striker is. Now, I don't know in the actual customization, you'll be able to go inside there and actually change the color of the pattern to what you want. But it looks like certain strikers are going to be able to make that pattern look different depending on the color of the striker specifically. Like I seen Hurricane looking more orange, and I saw Stellaris looking more purple or something like that. Like there's other strikers out there that have different colors of that pattern specifically. So I'll be kind of curious to see what you can do. Is it a customization feature, or is it specifically designed to the striker themselves? We have 8 new weapons, what it looks like, for the new Pulse of the Light Season 1. Now with this, it looks like is a lightning effect going on with this. Now there are 4 you're going to be able to get in the actual battle pass. So if you want to get it, not saying you have to have the battle pass, but you'll be able to actually spend your mission tokens in the matrix selection and actually get those 4. Just like you got in Season 0, there were a few of them in there, like Panther, Anisness. They were all inside there. Same goes when it comes to this one as well. You'll be able to get some of them. Now, I think some of them do look pretty cool. I'm going to be showing you guys now some B-roll of all the skins specifically that they showed that had the new effect. It looked like a lightning effect going along with it. That looks pretty cool. The Falcon one they teased on their X account, and I thought it looked really sick. It gave, when you're looking around, it gave that lightning effect, but then when it stays still for a moment, it looks like, it actually looks like feathers underneath the Falcon skin, and I think that looks super dope. This might be one where I definitely want to make sure I grind out some of the skins of these weapon skins, because some of them actually look really dope. Now, I kind of wish that they would have done one for every single mech moving forward. I think that would be really cool, so that every single mech has something to be worthwhile. Because if your mech that you love, that one mech is not one, like let's just say for instance Stellaris is not on the list. I didn't see anything for Stellaris, so like if you love Stellaris, you cannot get a weapon skin specifically for Stellaris. I would like for every single striker to have one, either it be in the loot crate or in the battle pass for you to buy. It'd be nice if they can do that versus just rotating some of the whatchamacallit, of the strikers. Like for instance, Panther has a fire one from Season 0. I would have loved to have seen a Panther Javelin as electricity more than a molten lava one. But that's just my personal take on it. I just think that this lightning effect that they have for the weapon looks really sick. And I kind of wish that every striker would have been able to get one. Now, we also have some Battle Pass revamping happening here, which is awesome. It looks like it's going to be looking more structured like a actual Game Pass, kind of like how what you would see if you bought a Game Pass for any other game out there, for any live service game. You have a free version, and as you continue to level up, you get the free rewards. But if you have the Game Pass, you not only get the free rewards, but you get the extra rewards that they have on top. Now, what looks like it looks pretty decent, the rewards. You get a little bit more Mashmak stuff, a little bit more covert operational plans for having the battle pass, and maybe a couple more loot crates. I could be wrong, but it's not crazy game breaking for it to just have the Game Pass. So I do like that you do have the option if you want it, and you're not really hurting to have that. But something that they are pushing when it comes to the new battle pass is they're giving people a cargo bay, where if you happen to like Mashmak, this is another way for you to make sure you put stuff inside that area that it doesn't have to actually be destroyed, and it would actually be deployed for you guys. And they just showed a little bit of that as well. But overall, that will be part of Battle Pass, which is really cool. Now that system, that Battle Pass with the rewards, is totally different from the actual Battle Pass where you have to buy stuff. Now in Season 0, you had to spend all your mission tokens, and as you reach that mile mark, then you were good to buy those specific rewards. Now this is totally different. Now is as you earn a specific mile marker, a mission marker token, then you're able to unlock the next tier. So it's all about how much you acquired versus how much you spend, which is a better quality life change, because there's times where I've had enough and I've been able to, but I didn't spend all my mission tokens, and because I didn't want to buy some of the other stuff, so now I'm forced to buy some of the stuff I wouldn't care for. But now this is a definitely better quality life change when it comes to the actual Battle Pass. I think for me, the Battle Pass was a thorn because of the loot crates was trash. The rewards weren't that great for people who liked them, sure. But if you didn't like them, it was either the strikers and the loot crates. And maybe if you wanted the weapon skins, sure, if you wanted those. But besides that, there wasn't really much for me to actually care for. So now they look like they're trying to incentivize. It looks like there's might be potential more loot boxes in here. Maybe there might be weekly loot boxes instead, where you can continue to keep earning more when it comes to that. Also, There are going to be definitely more incentives to do both Mashmak and also your 6v6 and 3v3 because they're going to be giving us more mission tokens and more missions with the mission tokens as well. So they're overall trying to ramp up where you get a lot more mission tokens. Because I know for sure I didn't play as much as a lot of people played hours and hours in. I only play maybe once or twice a week, and part of that is making content as well. And a lot of people were complaining that they spent so many hours and they couldn't unlock everything. Now they're trying to give us a lot more mission tokens. So I'm curious to see now with all this ramping up of the mission tokens, how much are we actually going to be able to get? Now, with that being said, talking about how annoying you couldn't be able to get everything you wanted, the next thing that they added was super important is a pity system. Now, with that being said, the pity system is a little, there still needs to be more information about the pity system to really understand it. Unfortunately, I think the translator in the video talking about this talked about how in every loot box you'll be able to have one covert operational plan, which I think it was a mistranslation.
About the guarantee mechanism. For every crate opened, you are guaranteed to receive one covert operation plan. For every 200 draws, you will randomly get one color from the two dynamic patterns. In every 400 draws, you are guaranteed to randomly receive one of the 4 new weapon skins.
Looking at the picture they specifically showed specifically 20 boxes open, you can get one covert operational plan. I could be wrong, or maybe they are wrong. Maybe a translation issue. That's why we have to wait for the actual patch notes. But it looks like they're going to be a pity system. Every 20 loot boxes that you open, you'll be able to get one covert operational plan. With that, that gives you another chance to go back into the PvE content, Mashmak, so you'll be able to go back into there one more time. This should also be able to count towards the loot crates that you open when you spend your mission tokens as well. That's just another way to do it. And if there's any missions, special missions for the week, like the pilot, prop, ace ops, all those things they showed us before, you're able to get 2 loot crates because you got all the 10 high corite stuff unlocked. Those also will count towards that as well, it looks like. Now, 20 to get one covert operational plan, and it looks like 200 to get a guaranteed pattern. Now, there are a couple patterns, so I'm not sure you get the one you want. And then 400 to get the actual weapon skin. Now, it is random. You do have 4, what it looks like 4 weapon skins. 3 or 4, one of those 2. You have about that 3 or 4 weapon skins that you'll be able to potentially get randomized after you open 400 loot crates. Now, I'm hoping by then you should definitely get something. I would like to see the drop rates to actually increase, not just the actual pity system, because I feel like the drop rate, I feel like it's abysmal. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like the drop rate, the pity system that they added as a more of a safety mechanism, because for me, I opened all the loot crate boxes, and more towards the end of season 0 I started doing a lot more Mashmucks, and I have yet to really get any good gold stuff. The 3 gold items I got were all patterns specifically, so that kind of sucks. I would like to definitely see maybe either a better percentage of drop rate, or maybe potentially more rewards that they permanently add inside there as well. But that is just my take when it comes to that. Also, on top of the pity system, there looks like they're going to be doing in Mashmak specifically a new crate that's going to be along with Mashmak. Now, this crate that it has in Mashmak looks like it's going to be different than any other crate. That's going to be specifically when it comes to the rewards you get from Mashmak. So I don't want people to think that the crate that you open for Mashmak, which is going to be super rare for it to drop, and when you open the crate that there's going to be super rare drops inside there. That is a different system. So that crate is not going to be the exact same crate as the season 1 crate that we're talking about. So I just want to make sure we are not confusing that. Some people might open this crate thinking that is that they got super lucky in Mashmak. That is not it. Now, you might see the season 1 loot crates in that crate, but that doesn't count towards the crate that you're talking about, the season 1 crates. That was what we're specifically talking about. So I just want to make sure you guys know that there is a special crate coming out, but it doesn't count towards your thing. This is specifically Mashmak and opening, getting special rewards. And it's almost like getting a boss out of it. When you defeat a boss in the game, all those rewards is what you're going to be getting, some really high tier rewards when it comes to those special loot crates that are rare to drop in Mashmak. Now, one thing that I wasn't sure about, they started talking about the market system specifically. They look like they're potentially allowing people to lower the value of their item. There doesn't seem to be a cap on how low you can go specifically. They did remove temporarily, it looks like, the auction, but this should allow you to right now, you should be able to sell things below what the value was specifically. It looks like they took it away in season 1. You should be able to potentially drop it for maybe lower. I could be wrong. Looking at what they kind of briefly went over, it looks like maybe they got rid of the bottom end, low end on the cap. But one thing I would like to see is I want them to put a cap on how much an item can actually sell. Now, the reason why I think that, now I understand that, look, if you got the Panaka skin, you can sell it for a crazy amount. You get a bunch of core, you do whatever you want with it. I totally understand that. But I also feel like that is also not fair for the ecosystem, because if you got Panaka skin is, I couldn't believe it. It's 60,000 Korite that people were selling it for. That's how rare it is. Now, 60,000 Korite in actual cash, if you were to buy it, is about $1,000, $700 to $1,000 for that skin specifically. Now, I don't know who was buying in that, but overall, just knowing that you can spend that amount of money for one skin is a crazy absorbent amount. I think that there should be a cap. There should be a cap when you sell something, so you can't go above this. That would allow that Korite to not be too bountiful out there, because if one person sells that, they got 60,000 they can do with whatever they want, and they can buy a lot of things, and they are messing around with the Korite imbalance specifically. I feel like by doing that, you allow people to have a chance to buy it if you cap it, and also you're not just throwing a lot more money into the ecosystem because someone got lucky with 60,000 that they end up selling on that skin. That is just my personal take. I do feel like there should be a cap when it comes to how much it is, but it is really tough to say what the cap should be, and that's beyond my pay grade. And I think they can look into potentially doing some quality of life changes when it comes to the marketplace itself. Now, a really cool feature that is coming out is photo mode. Photo mode is now going to be unlocked in the game in season 1. And now, I don't really care for photo mode when I first saw it, but now what I saw what they did with it, it looks crazy insane. The poses you can do with your pilot and also the mech itself, posing the mech in a special action pose, or shooting his weapon, or just grabbing your pilot or something like that. That looks super cool. I could definitely see myself taking like screenshots and then using part of that as my thumbnail. I think that'd be really cool, and I think now my creator brain is starting to go a little bit, and I started to like that feature. So the fact that you're going to be able to customize this however you want, whatever position you want of your mech, and also the pilot. And you can also bring your friends over and definitely do more customization that way as well. Now, another thing they talked about was the rank 0 rank transition. So everyone who got to a certain rank, you will be going to a certain rank depending on what you were. Now, Indestructible and Legend will be going to Plat. Anyone from Grandmaster to Commander, it looks like they're going to Gold, and so forth and so on. Now I'll put a picture of it so you guys can see if you are that rank and season 1 comes out, this is what rank you would be put into. Now I personally feel like they do need to rebalance the ranking system. I feel like there's too many ranks. I feel like they should cut it down a little bit to make it a little bit more easier to match with people. There are a lot of people who have really long match times, and I don't see them talking about that specifically. So I kind of hope that they kind of address that a little bit, because a really long queues will definitely kill a lot of people's mood. You can spend 20 minutes to queue onto a mission with a 6v6 just to lose, and then wait another 20-30 minutes for another mission. I can understand a lot of people saying, no, this is, I don't feel like playing it. And a lot of people are saying that hasn't happened to them. But there's a lot of comments that in my videos that people said, yeah, this kills the game. This killed me. Like, I stopped playing it. I uninstalled it because how long it takes to queue. Now, if you do 3v3, even more so, how longer it takes. People said at the Grandmaster, it just takes so long for that. So I feel like if they can cut the ranks, it would be easier. So that you're not only just facing bots, you get that out of the way, but you're also allowing more people to pool up together as well for a chance to actually play with them. Now, talking about Mashmak, we talked about it briefly. There is a special loot crate that's super rare that's going to drop. You unlock it, and it's going to be like killing a boss. Now, another thing that's going to be coming from Mashmak is 2 new weapons that he showed. One of the weapons looks like Aquila's claw, and the other one is like a shield of Welkin, the little box. So those are 2 new weapons that will be coming to the actual Mashmak. On top of that, there is a new boss. Now, that boss you have to... It's normally a gold key you need to unlock to fight that boss, and the boss looks more like a scorpion type. They didn't talk about their mechanics. They want people to actually try it out. I'd be curious to see what the boss does. I have yet to really fight a gold boss myself. I want to be able to get a little bit better with Mashmak, and I think that the fact that they're allowing it to get back into Mashmak PvE, specifically just go back in the more covert plan they keep giving us, the abundantness of that allows me to go back into Mashmak, and I'm starting to actually like Mashmak more and more because we have a lot of people from the community that also want to play as well. So it gives me a chance to not only play with them, but also be able to enjoy this new mode as well. Now, going back really quick, I don't mean to bounce back and forth, but there are 2 new zones you're going to be able to unlock with the new Battle Pass. Just like we had 2 new zones before. We had the gym and the club. The lounge, now you're going to have a game room and also what looks like Kris's office as well, or the commander's office specifically. Now, inside the office was really cool, and I kind of hope that they hinted at this, is actually in the office background, there's actual model kits of the actual strikers. So I would hope that they eventually start dropping some model kits, but I don't want them to pivot and start making model kits to lack content, to hurt the community even more so. I still want them to focus on this. So if they can't focus on this and also make model kits, they should definitely be focusing on the game more than a model kits. But hopefully at one point in time, once they start catching up with everything and everything starts to get a little bit better, that they start to also look into model kits, because I personally like to build model kits. I find it very peaceful, and we might be doing a model kit build eventually on this stream. I've only built 2 so far ever. I built Shining Gundam and God Gundam. So want to be able to do a couple streams with that as well. So if you're interested, stay tuned for possible model kit building as well. And that is pretty much it. They might have talked about a few other things. They talked about some buffs and nerfs that they're going to be doing. And that will be another video. I kind of wanted to see if they give us some more information, but it looks like we might have to wait about a week or a couple days before we start getting some more dev notes or patch notes specifically to get for that. Maybe like a Tuesday or something like that. We might see some more information when it comes to the actual release of Season 0, what is getting buffed, what is getting nerfed. But we might make a video beforehand just to kind of go over that. But I wanted to separate the actual buffs and nerfs to also all the stuff that's going to be coming in Season 1 altogether. There's a lot of content that's coming here. There's a lot of quality of life changes. The battle pass is huge. The pity system is pretty awesome. More ways to get into covert operation. So people who wanted to enjoy PvE specifically, that'd be great. I would like them to see if they can make matchmaking specifically. I know there's recruiting tabs. You can hit the recruit tab to find people. But if you can matchmake, that would be really awesome with the game. You just press the button. You hope to queue up with 2 more people, take care of their own things. They can communicate however they want, and they're good to go. So I would like to see some quality of life changes when it comes to that. If they don't plan to give us a full-blown PvE stuff, at least maybe a mid-patch update. They allowed matchmaking to be occurring in this thing. That would be great. Something else that I would like to see, they talked about how there's so much UI confusion. I think they should just condense it. They have 6v6, operational, casual, and also rank. They also have 3v3 and Mashmak. I feel like you should just have a tab that says 6, the number 6, v number 6, and then 3v3. the number 3s. Like, just show 6v6, 3v3, so people can understand what I want to specifically do. You click on it, and then those are the actual options instead. I feel like that would be a lot better to handle, but that's just my personal take. Now, they did talk about something that they're going to be changing with the marketplace, things you won't be able to sell. I don't want to touch on that because that might be a mistranslation, like mods and stuff like that, so I don't want to touch that specifically until we actually get some final words. So that's just my take on that. But let me know down in the comments down below, what do you guys think about this update? Like I said, I don't think Season 1 is going to be a crazy big update when it comes to PvE. The quality of life changes is definitely a lot better. Some premium skins we're going to be getting. The weapon skins definitely look better. The battle pass looks better. There are more rewards. Some balance changes, so hopefully people will enjoy the balance changes as well. And a lot more things when it comes to that. But I'm hoping that Season 2, going into that Season 2, hopefully we see actual PvE content coming into the game. But this is just a quick band-aid for the PvE people who wanted to enjoy some stuff. You can have more chances to get it. Now, in your battle passes, you're going to be able to get a couple covert operational plans as well, so you'll be able to jump back into that as well. So they're making it a little bit more easier for you to get those covert plans to go ahead and jump back into that. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.